Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. At long last, we are bringing you live cadet athletics on the Cadet Student Network. My name is Tom Eichwald, and I am absolutely thrilled to be back in the booth after so long, and alongside me is Mr. Randy Gardner. Randy, is this what a broadcast booth looks like? I had forgotten.
I am not sure, man. It has been a long time. Since March, we were getting geared up for state final basketball when everything got shut down, and we're finally back. The beginning of October here.
We are glad you're with us. It is an absolutely gorgeous fall evening, even a little chill in the air. I see a couple of blankets being brought into the stadium. It's that time of year as the Cadets get set to make their season debut against the number one team in the area who comes in with a running start, and by that I mean full-on sprint. The Bulldogs from Fort Zumwalt South come in the number one team in the area, number one large school in the area according to the Post-Dispatch polls, and they come in 10-0 with 7 shutouts, averaging just under 5 goals a game. This is an absolute juggernaut at the moment, and it is going to be a really interesting early test for the Cadets. Randy, in all your coaching experience, when you're going up against an opponent who's in mid-season form and you're getting your feet under you, what's the messaging tonight for the Cadets?
Tom, I'm simply going to say I don't know. You just go out and play and see where the chips fall. I talked to Coach Zippel before the game, and we talked about that exact same thing. What do you do? What do you tell your guys early on in a game like this where you have not faced any kind of competition? Fort Zumwalt South, they've played 9+ games. You know, they've got a lot of experience under their belt right now. I tell them you just go out and play, do what you have been doing in practice, get excited, and go out there and just move. Just let the energy carry the game for a while.
Let's just real quick as its starting point talk about the season these two teams had last year. The Cadets finished 14-11-2. They won their district, but they were eliminated by Kirkwood in that next sectional game by a score of 3-2. They do return their top scorer, Luca Bartoni, who's coming in with 8 goals. He and Ethan Mayo, who also returns, led the team in assists with 5 each. At the goalkeeping situation, Sean Stenger comes in. He will get the start tonight. He is the only cadet goalkeeper with varsity minutes. He got 51 minutes of play last year. That is an unofficial stat, but that was in October in a tournament. So he's coming in. So much youth in this CBC team. Only 3 seniors, Randy, in the starting lineup tonight.
Yeah, if you look at one question mark for the Cadets, that's my question mark. The younger guys are going to have to step up, and we've seen it in years past. The younger guys have stepped up. Do you say this is a building year for the future? If you ask the guys, they say no. But if you look at it from the outside with a younger crew like that, you almost have to look at it. This could be a building for the future.
Fort Zumwalt South comes into this season. They were 25-2 last season, and they won Class 3 District 6. They were also eliminated in the sectional round, but that was by Summit, who ended up winning the state tournament last year. They did graduate most of their top scorers last year. They graduated Christian Kraus with 45 goals, graduated Jonathan Thomas with 14 goals, Kogut with 13, and Mason Crew with 11 goals. But they are not short of goal-scoring options. They come in with the brothers. You might have read about them in the paper. Great piece in the Post. Carson Gibbs, number 13, he's a junior. He's got 19 goals and 7 assists. And his younger brother Riley is a freshman, number 9. Get this, 10 goals and 10 assists so far as a freshman.
So what do you talk about in that family as far as who's better, where's the conversation go?
Funny you should ask that, because there was a piece. I came with my printouts, folks. Talking in the piece was written by Jim Fasten. It was published just the 26th, just a couple days ago. They were talking to Carson Gibbs, and he says, I love this, I really don't care about all the stats. I just want to see the team succeed. But he said, both my parents pay attention to it. They're big into the scoring leaders, and they know where I am. So you got to know little brother Riley knows where they stand, too. But we're probably going to see the Bulldogs from Zumwalt South come in with a 4-4-2 formation. So I think one of the keys for them is to get that midfield distribution kind of pipelines well-oiled early on. You really want to get those balls up to your leading scorers. And I think it's key if you are Zumwalt South. You know you're in mid-season form. They scored 24 seconds into a game against Lindbergh yesterday, and we're up, I believe, 4-0 by halftime. So they know how to start early, and I think it's key for them to utilize that momentum. Try to get at this young backline and goalkeeper of CBC right off the bat.
Well, talking to Coach Ziffel before the game, that we're playing a 4-4-2 also. I think you take exactly what you said and just flip it around, and I think the Cadets need to do the exact same thing. Put a lot of pressure on this team early, maybe give them something they haven't seen before. And I go back to this. I tell all my youth teams, go out there and hustle. Just wear them down. Make them make the mistake.
Tom Eichwald and Randy Gardner getting set to bring you CBC versus Fort Zumwalt South. You are hearing the public address announcer and seeing the pictures of those starting lineups out there. CBC is on the right side of your screen in the whites. And those starters in goal, number 1, Sean Stenger, the junior. Number 2, Liam Jacober. 3, Jake Sinak. 4, Alex Peters. 5, Dylan Weiss. 6, Matt Courtcamp. 7, Caden Smith. 8, Marco Anik. 9, Dominic Bartoni. 10, Luca Bartoni. And 13, Dylan Burkett. Starting for Fort Zumwalt South in goal, outstanding goalkeeper, 3-year starter, 3-year varsity player, Luke Dillon, number 1. He is just a junior, but he's phenomenal. Look forward to seeing him tonight. And in front of him, he's got number 2, Luke Walsh. Number 3, Cole Lemkeman. 4, Jack Kester. 5, Braden Bressler. 9, Riley Gibbs. 10, Owen Casson. 11, Jack Jelinek. 13, Carson Gibbs. 14, Brendan Owens. 18, Connor Lovell. Those are your starters, and the Bulldogs are coached by Jim Lane. Quick break for the national anthem. We'll be right back on CSN. There you have it, starting lineups, national anthem. We are set for soccer on CSN. How long have I waited to say that? We are absolutely delighted to be back with you folks.
I wish if we could show them the sunset. It is beautiful. What a great night to be in the press box here. Very accommodating. Ryan Rapp has worked unbelievably with us all week to get us in here. Appreciate everything Fort Zumwalt South has done for us to get us into the booth, get us up top. We're excited about sports this year on CSN. Tom, we'll talk a little bit later about a new initiative. It's called CSN2.
Yes, you heard that.
CSN.
A subsidiary network of the Cadet Student Network. It's happened.
And what that network is going to do, it's going to televise the underclass games, the underclassmen games that we are not able to have announcers on and get our full crew with multiple cameras on. It will be a one-camera shot of the field. Most of the time, no audio, but we will at least be able to bring you the games. And that will start tomorrow on CSN2. So watch all our social media. We'll show you exactly where to go and how to find it. And once you find it once, you should be good.
That is CSN2, and that is Randy Gardner telling you about it. He's the maestro of all of this. We have a couple of students making the broadcast possible tonight. Braden Paulus is our boss tonight, and we have Charlie Bryan up on the camera. CBC has taken the field. They're on the right side of your screen. They'll be attacking the goal to your left, and they are wearing all white uniforms on the road with nice tiny purple numbers. That's going to be fun. And then going left to right across your screen in the red socks, red shorts, and black tops, those are the Bulldogs of Fort Zumwalt South. Their goalkeeper clad in a nice red jersey with black bottoms, and Sean Stenger, his counterpart, wearing some bright orange, letting us know where he is at all times. We are ready to get underway. It's going to be, looks like, number 9, that is Riley Gibbs, will get the first touch tonight, and he's going to touch it back to Braden Bressler. And we'll see how aggressive the Bulldogs are going to be right off the bat. We did mention in the pregame build-up, they can score early, they can score often. Get this, folks, 49 goals scored in 10 games played so far this season. They have only conceded 6, and 7 of their 10 games have been shutouts. The Cadets will look to end that early as this ball is worked to Dylan Burkett, who will be operating the left wing tonight. Now Luca Bartoni dropping deep. Courtcamp looks to switch. He's under all kinds of pressure from Riley Gibbs. He finds Alex Peters, number 4. We'll talk a little bit about Peters. He's going to be key tonight. Great ball from Peters, though. He has Caden Smith in some space on the right wing. Jukes his man, gets the ball in, can't find Bartoni. Nice header by Luke Walsh, the center back, to get it out. Another chance perhaps for the Cadets. It'll be a deep throw as the ball in is blocked. So great ball by Alex Peters. You know, he's one of the guys that does return with a lot of minutes from last year. So if you're looking for leadership at the back, Alex Peters is going to be key in a young back line. Throw bounces, finds its way to Dylan Burkett. He wanted to get it on his left, but it wouldn't settle for him. Plays it back. Nice pass into the middle intended by Jacob Sinak, but it doesn't quite come off. This is Riley Gibbs dropping back. Nice controls, and he has number 5. That is Bressler again. And CBC will have to shut it down in the midfield, make sure they don't give any space for Zumwalt South to pick a pass to their front men. Peter's going to try the diagonal again. Doesn't quite connect, but it's going to squirt through. And a foot race now. Good job by Lemkeman to get back. Lemkeman, the left back, wearing number 3. Was talking to Coach Lane just a little bit before the game. He was highly complimentary of his defense, especially his center back pairing of Jelinek and Walsh. Very proud of what they've done this season, so looking forward to seeing them. Flick header on Burkett with the left. And first shot of the season is pretty harmless, except to the bleachers behind the goal.
Well, if you had to break this down the first 3 minutes as a coach in terms of what you wanted you guys to do, come out and put some pressure on to keep the ball on their end of the field, make them feel that pressure, CBC's doing exactly what they need to do to get this game started off right.
And if you're looking at CBC defensively now, it looks like Alex Peters will be the last man. He's got Jacober on his right side, and he's got Sinak on his left. Sinak wins the header. Now Dominic Bartoni dropping in. Marco Anik is going to try to switch.
With both teams playing 4 in the midfield, the midfield becomes so crunched up, it's crucial to play that ball outside as often as possible.
It is, but I like that because, you know, as I said, trying to shut down the space and not allow those passes, those comfortable passes into your striker is very important. Smith into the middle. He's got Dominic Bartoni. The freshman can't get off the mark. He scuffed the shot, and it cruises wide. But Dominic Bartoni getting himself into a great position. So exciting to have him in the program.
Yeah, and as you just mentioned, when you have those 8 guys scrunched into the middle there, it creates opportunities like that with 2 guys up.
So CBC doing a nice job early of keeping their heads up and looking for those passes. They have found some nice lanes on some kind of oblique diagonal balls. This is Dylan Burkett on the near side. He's got Dominic Bartoni directly ahead of him. Luca Bartoni to his left. It's Dominic. Now back for Sinak. In the middle, he's got, that was Matt Courtcamp, who does nicely just to get the ball out to Jacober after a miscontrol. This is Bressler now. Dangerous territory for CBC, as that's Gibbs, Carson Gibbs, the elder. He has fouled 3 sets of brothers, would you believe it, on the Fort Zumwalt South team, Randy. 3 sets of brothers. CBC's got 1 that I know of.
Some proud parents. Fun to come and watch your kids play soccer, and I enjoy watching my own.
It'll be Walsh taking this. That is Luke Walsh, the center back. He'll be taking it with his right foot. And Bulldogs do have numbers in the box. Slight height advantage to CBC's defense, it appears. And that is flicked back post. Getting on the end of that was Brendan Owens. And harmlessly by, Stanger will take a drink and put this back in play. He gets his first touch on a goal kick.
You're seeing that a lot more often, no matter if it's in the Premier League and the MLS, college. You're seeing that ball played deep to the back post and then try to head that ball back out into the middle.
Well, it's mayhem for a defender. You know, if you've got to turn your head twice on a single ball, it can really cause problems, and it's very easy to lose your man as you're tracking the ball back and forth.
Well, and you're a keeper. You know when that ball's played over you and you're coming back, and then the ball's played back into the middle, you're totally out of position.
Well, you are, and you're obligated to come take that near post, so if you got to assume that header is going to be on goal, and you got to get to that back post as soon as you can, but then if it goes back across, you are out of position. Walsh in a foot race beats Dominic Bartoni to it. Nice slide tackle, and that will be a CBC throw. 34:47 to go. Tom Eichwald and Randy Gardner bringing you CBC in the white. They are taking on the number 1 ranked Fort Zumwalt South Bulldogs. They are in red shorts and black shirts, even though they are the home team. That ball's out of bounds. It will be a throw for the Bulldogs.
So, Tom, we talked earlier about what do you, as a cadet coach, tell your kids. You're the coach of Fort Zumwalt South. What do you tell your guys?
I think you tell your guys, and Riley Gibbs was a nice example of it there, you have to get after them. This is CBC's first game. Zumwalt South knows that. They know that they absolutely have to get out and put doubt in CBC's mind early. You know, if CBC comes in knowing that they're up against kind of a stalwart defensive unit and a highly prolific offense, CBC's coming in knowing they're going to have to weather some storms, knowing that it's going to be difficult. And the longer CBC is in this game, from a Zumwalt South perspective, the more comfortable they get. You cannot let them get comfortable. You absolutely have to get after them early, and CBC is doing a nice job of preventing that by keeping the ball in the Zumwalt South half.
And you can see CBC not giving them a lot of room. I think that's key, not only in the midfield, but you see it there as the ball's played up top, right on their back. No chance to stop, to turn, to give it that look.
We're glad to have you with us. You are not the only people watching this game. We got a decent crowd out here in St. Charles County, and part of that crowd is quite famous. You might have heard about him in the news. Lutz Pfannenstiel, if I can get the name right, the sporting director of St. Louis City SC, is in the house just a little bit to the left of our press box. So nice to see him taking in some high school soccer. He's apparently been at quite a number of the games.
Had a chance to talk to him just a bit before the game. Looking forward to having professional soccer here in St. Louis. It's going to be hard. I've been a Kansas City Sporting KC fan for a long time to make that change, but I will.
Luca Bartoni's first shot of the season is right into the hands of Luke Dillon. Comfortable save for the Bulldog Junior.
Tom, you still got some years under your belt. You could go play.
Yeah, I could certainly go try out. That is a handball. No, it's off the shoulder, past the back post, and that is a field goal. It came off the shoulder of Bressler. CBC wanted a handball, but it was not called. And working that back post again was Brendan Owens, who got the shot away.
I think from our vantage point, you could see it a little more clearly that it was a handball. Referee was on the backside, and he was pointing to his shoulder. It's one of those things where you just, as a player, you just got to suck it up because the referee he's not out of position. He's just in a position where he could not see the ball.
You know, and he didn't even consult VAR.
Yeah. When they start calling us to show them instant replays, which we will have starting next week, hopefully Saturday night for football we'll have instant replay up and rolling and ready to go.
Look at that physicality from the freshman Dominic Bartoni. That is great to see. Court Camp brings down Riley Gibbs. He swung and missed on the ball. Gibbs hit the turf, and it will be a free kick for the Bulldogs. It's just about at the 47-yard line. Walsh will take this one as well.
A good foul there in terms of not a professional foul.
I was going to say, are you advocating for the foul at the high school level?
You know what I mean. A professional foul. You got to foul them there to slow the game down. Nothing dirty. Just slow the game down.
Yeah, I think settled in the box. Rifled just wide. I'm going to guess that was a Gibbs, but I couldn't quite see. Unless was that 14 Owens again? Brendan Owens really has a knack for getting on the end of things, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a very quick release on his shot. That ball bounced up into his midsection, and he let go of that with his right foot really quickly. That's something you try to teach the kids early and often, and it's a skill that if you can master, you can net a lot of goals.
Zumwalt South doing a nice job of putting the CBC defense under pressure, not giving them time on the ball. You know, those first few games, the game sharpness and first touch might not be there, and I think they're looking to capitalize. You know, very predatory behavior, I guess you would say, if you're watching Discovery Channel, where they're just circling, waiting for a mistake. These offensive players for Zumwalt South are ruthless. They are waiting for every single mistake, trying to force something so they can pounce. The other side of having your first game of the season, Randy, is fitness. How fit are you as a team? Especially you couldn't necessarily work out. Maybe they weren't working out with their club teams as much in the spring. You know, in your first game, are you going to see fitness if you try to play high pressure, if you try to deal with the press on those defensive players? Is that going to wear on you as the game goes by?
And how many times have we seen over the years of doing this that it comes down to one mental and physical mistake that costs you the game, wins you the game or loses you the game?
Just a little over 10 minutes in, we are scoreless between CBC and Zumwalt South. Contact there between Riley Gibbs and Alex Peters. It is Peters who wins it. Peters loses out to that one. The center back, Walsh, marauding forward. He runs into Matt Courtcamp and goes nowhere. Dylan Burkett unable to keep it in. Throw in for the Bulldogs. Go ahead.
I was going to say Saturday night we will be televising our first football game here on CSN. Looking forward to that against Eureka.
This is Riley Gibbs getting it on his left foot, passes in, miscommunication with his older brother. He'll talk about that one on the ride home, I'm sure. It's gathered easily by Stenger.
Tom, how much of that does that shot that comes on the half step bother you as a keeper? It's one thing I try to teach my kids that I coach. You learn to hit that ball in a half step. If you try to put the ball and get it a full step and a half past the guy, it gives you an opportunity to see the ball. You hit that ball on the half step when you're like in your motion moving, trying to get adjusted, and you'll score all the time. Maybe not on you, but.
Oh, definitely on me. Definitely on me. I'm going to put myself as close to the near post as I can and hope. No, I think it comes down to reflexes. You know, so much of goalkeeper training is footwork, and we talk about it all the time. One thing you can do on the half step is you try to get the keeper while he's moving his feet. His feet aren't set. As Burkett tries to come in, great gather by Dylan. And are they going to get offsides?
Yeah.
Okay, offsides. But, you know, it does make it a challenge, and that's why you do a lot of reflex drills. You know, if anybody remembers the scene in Miracle where they're working with Jim Craig and throwing tennis balls at the wall but from behind him, making him react to tennis balls. Goalkeepers do a lot of that stuff in soccer too. I remember using, it was actually dog chew toys. It had nubs all over it, so you'd throw it on the ground, never know where it was going to bounce, and you would have to react. You know, and just because your feet were set doesn't mean it happens. So that's why keepers do a lot of that training. But if you are hitting it early on the half step as opposed to getting it way out in front of you, letting the keeper see it, it can certainly test that training.
Yeah, use the defender as a shield.
Oh, yeah. Makes it very difficult. And that's where, if you look at the highest levels, one of the things that you see is you see defenders who take the post. Defenders will always take the post at those high levels. This is Carson Gibbs, one-on-one with Peters. Peters gets a tackle in. Great challenge by Peters. He got all ball. Referee waves it off, says it was clean. Burkett can't control. It's Owens again, but that ball was out of bounds. But to finish the point, you know, when you do have the defender being used as a screen, you know, when you've got a really well-oiled defensive machine, a lot of times you will have the defender take one post, and then the goalkeeper knows it's not going that way, so I only have one way to move with it. Peters' pass is intercepted. Nice read by Jack Jelinek. Number 11. Now this is Carson Gibbs, right foot. That's blocked again by Peters. Stenger stays on his line, waits for it, and he's going to tip it out for a corner kick. And he does touch his chest, recognize that maybe he should have come a little bit earlier, so that's good awareness from Sean Stenger.
Just from a fan perspective, a viewer perspective, very evenly played game so far.
It is. This is going to be entertaining.
Yeah, both teams playing hard, nothing dirty. Scoring chances at both ends.
Lovell with the right foot. It's an out swinger. Headed up by, that was number 3, Sinak. Down by Luca Bartoni. Anik will try to calm things down. He's very good at that. He's going to dump it in. Luke Walsh will run it down. Light pressure from Dominic Bartoni. Walsh did not touch that ball. And that is why Dylan is able to pick it up.
25:48 left here in the first half. No clock on the broadcast tonight. We'll have that back in operation for the next game.
Cadet Colonel clock malfunctioning.
It will be up and running.
We are still scoreless. Nice idea there on the pass, but through everybody. Dylan is not going to be able to wait for it. Good pressure by Dominic Bartoni. And because of that pressure, you know, CBC had a chance to regain that ball. They don't get the bounce, though. This is Bressler, closed down by Anik and fouled. Good positioning awareness by Bressler. Get himself between the man and the ball. Draw the contact. Not Owens. This is Jelinek. Nope, not Jelinek. Third time. Lovell, who was attacking down the right. That was number 18. Dominic Bartoni takes a touch. He's brought down by Walsh, and we have a foul. Some of the CBC players asking for a card. We have no card given, but Walsh smartly walked away from that one right away.
I'll say it again, another professional foul there. You've got to take the guy, and if you're a defender, you got to take him down. If not, he's straight in on goal. Now,
it's almost like there's years of having that done to you behind that comment.
Believe me, all my years I've been on both sides of that ball, that equation. And we haven't talked about being in the Tim Kylo broadcast booth yet.
You know,
Man, I miss Tim. I saw him a couple of times, but I miss him being around. Can't wait to have him back.
We do. We'll tell you about he may be able to help you save money. But Alex Peters trying to deliver a good ball in. It's high towards the back post, headed down. Easy for Dylan in the end. Cadet fans, are you protected? Call State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo for all your insurance needs. Tim is more than just the best insurance guy in town. He's also the presenting sponsor of CSN, and we are incredibly grateful for his support. Call Tim at 314-842-4442 or send him an email. That's Tim Kylo, that's K-I-L-O, or Tim at timkylo, K-I-L-O.com. He is our kickoff sponsor. I forgot to mention him at kickoff in my excitement to have soccer back. I missed that one, but we'll get him in the second half for sure. And hopefully after a goal here, as Caden Smith is brought down or falls, whichever interpretation you choose, and loses possession. Zumwalt South on the transition here.
You can already maybe see some heavy legs from our 4 or 5 up top.
Yeah, CBC's readying a couple of substitutions. Those numbers are small, but if I'm seeing them correctly, it's Alex Etzel, number 11, the freshman, and Ethan Mayo, number 12, the senior, who will be coming into this game. Most likely either forward or midfield, but here's Luca Bartoni. He's dribbling out there, giving him space. He's going to hit this. And it bounces right to Dylan. He can absolutely hit that, and he's frustrated with himself. He didn't get better contact, but nobody closed him down. And if you're going to give Luca Bartoni that kind of space 25 yards out, he is going to hit it every single time.
And that's a really hard ball to hit as it's rolling away from you to light that up.
And it was directly in front of him as opposed to off to the side where you can really step into it.
But when that ball's right in front of you like that and you're able to step into it and you hit it the right way, man, that ball will just knuckle. Tom, I want to get out there.
I know you do. You're itching, aren't you?
But, you know, my bad knee that needs to be operated on, it prevents me from even jogging down the field.
I don't think you'd pass for a high school student, Randy.
Yeah, we got to all wear masks, right?
22-13 to go in this first half. Contact between Court Camp and Riley Gibbs. It is another foul by CBC. Bressler takes it too quick. Referee wanted it, took it too far ahead. Referee wanted about 10 yards back. So it'll be Luke Walsh.
$21.50 left here in the first half. Beautiful night for soccer. Actually, a lot of fans in the stands tonight here.
Great turnout. Luke Walsh's ball. This will be Stenger's. He goes up and catches. Does nicely to hold on to it under pressure, and he's collided with.
I'm not sure he caught that ball at the highest point.
No, it was a little bit off, and you know, we'll let the catcher-punch debate commence. But he held on to it in the end, and as a goalkeeper, the only thing that matters is that you end up with the ball. Everything else is style.
I'm going to do this a lot this year. I'm going to go, what would Tom do? What would have Tom done?
Ball played in. Loose ball. Carson Gibbs can't bring it in. Right-footed shot by Owens is well grabbed by Stanger, who gets down sharply to his right. Great positioning and execution. Good save, Sean Stanger.
We got lucky there. That ball should have been headed out of there. Instead, it tried to be flicked out of there.
Yeah, and as a result, Carson Gibbs was able to get on it. He laid it back for number 14, Brendan Owens, who keeps getting himself in great positions. And he just can't put it close enough in the corner to get it away from Stanger. But great read by Stanger to get down very quickly. Got those hands down and drove himself as opposed to flopping over to it. Good technique, good save, good reaction. Substitutions by CBC. It is Etzel and Mayo coming in. There is a third player with very small numbers coming in. We'll try to tell you who that is. That is number 19 for CBC. That is Sam Villa.
Braden Paulus here with us on the crew tonight.
Charlie Bryan working the camera upstairs.
Should I say Braden's brains behind the operation? Or should I save
Braden's
that?
running the show.
Or should I save that till the end to see how everything goes tonight? It's our first night out on the road with any broadcast this year.
Anik tries to play one down the flank, and that's easily grabbed by Dylan. CBC early on had some nice diagonal balls into those positions. They've been a little bit too direct in the last 5-10 minutes or so, and as a result, Dylan has gotten on the end of a lot of those kind of dribblers that he has picked up. Good aware goalkeeping by him, but for CBC, need to improve the quality of that delivery a little bit, just be a little bit less direct, maybe a little more finesse. So many things that are so easy to say up here, aren't they?
Yeah, just kind of watching from a coaching standpoint right now, as the ball's being played for CBC up through the midfield to the forwards, it doesn't seem like the forwards are coming back enough and showing for. See how they're moving away from the ball and not coming back and showing for the ball.
Yeah, there's a big gap between Luca Bartoni, who's going to be that kind of attacking midfielder, and the two strikers, who are Caden Smith and Ethan Mayo right now.
And it's almost one of those things where you take that guy up top and have him come back and play the ball, and then let the guy behind him make that overlap and run, and go by him. But heavy legs early on in the season.
Yeah, Mayo's a substitute, though, so you'd hope that he'd be fresh. Here's Caden Smith. Mayo streaking down the left side. Ball's played to the right. They got a 2-on-1 here. Mayo getting himself in a great position. Can Marco Anik find him? Anik with the right goes with the shot, and that's blocked out wide. Needed to play that ball a little bit earlier to Ethan Mayo, who I believe is making that point to him. Again,
easy to say up here. We're not on a full sprint.
It is easy to say. Marco Anik, very aware player, very cerebral player. You would kind of expect him to have that pass. Good job by Luke Walsh to recover, but that pass comes in early. It's either Mayo straight on goal or a give and go, and Anik's right back on it. This will be a corner kick. Looks like Ethan Mayo will take this for CBC. 17:53 to go. We are still scoreless here at Fort Zumwalt South. You are watching the Cadet Student Network. I'll tell you about some more of the sponsors who make this possible tonight as Mayo drives one in. Flicked down. Anik still trying to get on the end of it. Can't. It's chased down by Etzel. And then intercepted by Jacober. No, that was Sinek. Now here comes Fort Zumwalt South. Watch this. And Carson Gibbs is brought down by Liam Jacober. This will be a yellow card. We got the clock stopping. And we are going to have a yellow card to Liam Jacober. That is a warning and probably a fair decision. And he will have to leave the field for an unspecified amount of time. There's nothing to argue here except you can see Luca Bartoni pointing over here to the spot where I think it was it Dominic Bartoni that was interfered with earlier, saying it's the same thing. Why is there no yellow there? We'll let that conversation happen on the field as opposed to up here in the booth while we tell you that we are proud to call Chick-fil-A the official chicken sandwich of the Cadet Student Network. Those delicious Chick-fil-A sandwiches are available in CBC's concession stands, and you want to visit our favorite location on Manchester just east of Ballas. They are our favorite pregame meal, should be yours too. Thank you, Chick-fil-A. 17:26 to go. We have a stopped clock because of the yellow card given to Liam Jacober. It'll be Walsh with the right, flicked on by Carson Gibbs and hauled in by Stanger. Good hands. So they get away with one there, but that is one of your wingbacks with a yellow card in the first half. Stanger boots it long. He's looking for Caden Smith up top. Smith causing all kinds of problems, doing a nice job dropping back, as you said, Randy. Little heavy touch. Can he regain? No. Good awareness by Luke Walsh to clear, and it's all the way up. Peters up and over Riley Gibbs, wins it back. It's Luke Walsh again. Luke Walsh has been everywhere back there for Fort Zumwalt South. Marco Anik, some slick moves, beats a sliding Walsh. This is Villa over here on the near side. He's going to get a right-footed cross in. It's headed clear as far as Mayo. Mayo with the right scuffs the shot. Marco Anik now with the left can't keep it in, and that is going to go out for a goal kick. Great job by Caden Smith to drop back, absorb the pressure, and keep possession for CBC.
Yeah, and to work the ball down in the corner and then slow it down and bring it back and then play it across. I don't think either team has really had an opportunity to slow the game down and string together 4, 5, 6, 10 good passes and just wear the other team down. It's all like this, looking for that slot ball. I don't want to say kick and run because it's not kick and run, but just a little longer. As CBC starts to get a little more tired as we go into the second half, they're going to have to slow this game down and try to string some passes together.
And do want to give a shout-out to Sam Villa there, the freshman number 19, who was the one who was able to beat his man and get that cross in. So you got a freshman over here on the left. You had Bartoni, a freshman starting. You got Alex Etzel, a freshman in there. Such a talented young group of players. And then you got this junior class. So many of these guys, juniors, will be back next year. Really is an exciting time for CBC soccer. This is Alex Etzel operating on the right-hand side. Stutter steps a little bit as the train pulls in. You can hear it. Oh, no, it's an ambulance. Like a train horn. 15 minutes to go. I will learn my modes of transportation and maybe review some flashcards at halftime.
You'll see it go through the screen in the background. Maybe. There we go.
There it is.
There goes the train.
Court Camp plays it over to the near side. Thank you, Mr. Gardner. And this is Sam Villa. Beats his man again. Trying to get it on that right foot. We've all seen that in the highlight reels. Doesn't quite come off.
Offsides.
And we have offsides anyway. It'll be going out.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Hitting on that half step. You could see from the camera angle there, you could see that he really had maybe an inch or two where he could unload that ball. Just light it up. If it deflects off him, makes it even tougher for the keeper. And if the guy turns his back or steps a little bit, then he's obstructed. The goalkeeper's obstructed. I have no problem with anybody lighting up a shot from there.
No, I don't. And that's exactly why he's in there. You're putting a right-footed player on the left wing. That's exactly why you do that. It's called an inverted winger. You come in and look to hit it, at that far post, bend it in. We see it so many times from some of the best players in the world. Arjen Robben from the left side is as good as anybody that's ever done that. Should mention Mo Salah, of course. Now this is Sam Villa again, under pressure. He's got Ethan Mayo. Nice move by Mayo. Mayo had himself a handful of goals and 5 assists last year.
Parkway's. Sorry to say Parkway. Well, I'm losing my mind. For Zumwalt South, doing a great job in the midfield there, closing the gap on there. Did you see four midfielders?
Those train tracks right by Parkway that are getting us tonight. Dropping back into the midfield for Zumwalt South, that's Zach Kester. Ball played up. It will be gathered by Peters, who's under pressure from Carson Gibbs. He's going to have to play this out. And it will be a Zumwalt South throw. Great pressure from these forwards and midfielders of Zumwalt South on the CBC defense. Just relentless, really. Owens flicks on. This is Riley Gibbs, Carson Gibbs. He was onside, but the shot left the stadium.
I will tell you, a great job by the ball boys tonight.
They are on the ball, aren't they?
I've never seen anything like it. That ball's back in play before I can even get my eyes adjusted back onto the field.
Now you do have one of them making the lonely journey over there to the, looks like the field throwing practice area. We got a second ball on the field. We'll have to deal with that. While we do that, we'll let you know that we want to tell you about Athletic Republic Sports Performance Training. They're the nation's largest evidence-based performance training brand, and they're ready to help serious athletes train to win. Several CBC student athletes train with Athletic Republic. They can help you become a champion, too. They create an individualized program for each athlete, and they are ready to help you succeed. Contact CBC alum Charlie McDaniel to learn how Athletic Republic can get you ready to compete and win. Call Charlie at 314-432-6103 or learn more online at athleticrepublicstl.com. 12 minutes to go in this first half. Still scoreless between CBC and Fort Zumwalt South. The number 1 ranked Bulldogs come into this game 10-0. They are the number 1 team in the large school rankings so far in the season. CBC, this is their season opener tonight due to different county restrictions. Unable to play until really this week. So first game for CBC, 10th game for a dominant Fort Zumwalt South team. And so far, it has been a good competition between the two. Both teams have had good chances. Great ball in. Carson Gibbs is going to get on the end of this. Stenger's a little late. Gibbs scores. With 11.5 to go, that is number 13, Carson Gibbs. And it may be early in the season, but Carson Gibbs just scored himself his 20th goal this year.
What a great service there. That hesitation.
I was trying to see the number on who assisted that. That was number 18, Connor Lovell, with a wonderful diagonal ball in, and Carson Gibbs just exploiting that channel between the center back and the wing back adroitly.
And what a great weight on that ball to just kind of drop it, and let it arc in. As I mentioned, and as a keeper.
It puts Stenger in a really difficult decision. Because you want to come out, but you got to be ready for the first time shot too. So you don't want to be moving. That's a foul called against CBC. But credit to Lavelle with the ball. A few minutes ago, we were talking about CBC being a little bit direct and needing a little bit more finesse. That's exactly what we're talking about. Notice that ball made Stenger make a decision. When you play it diagonally between a striker and a keeper, it's not coming at the keeper. It's moving away from him. He has to make a decision while the striker gets to watch him and react. When you play that ball too direct, it's going to roll right into the keeper's hand with no contest. So that's what we're hoping to see a little bit more of from CBC.
Great vision by him to even see that space to play the ball.
Yeah, he seems like a heck of a player. Just a sophomore, Connor Lavelle. Lovell. So 1-0, Zumwalt South. That's their 50th goal of the season. And we have a substitution occurring.
That's incredible.
50th goal, and this is their 11th game.
That's incredible.
They have still only allowed 6 as well. It's not like they're abandoning their defensive duties to go score all those. Looks like we got some advice being given to Villa, maybe asking him to move back a little bit, give Lovell space to take this throw. And he obliges. Peters heads down to Sinak. They give it up. Good reaction from Alex Peters to get it away. But right now, CBC under some pressure. Headed in the middle. Riley Gibbs brings it down. Good controlling touch from Riley. Now Bressler. He's got Carson Gibbs and another player that is number 17, Uelk, who got in there. So great pressure. We're seeing why they've scored 50 goals.
Yeah.
Now Courtcamp. Nowhere to go with it. Gives it up to Lovell. Ethan Mayo trying to get back and dispossess. Unable to. This is Villa. Gets to the sideline.
Doing a great job of closing down the space, and you saw it right there. Just closing the space quickly causes mistakes.
Well, it does cause mistakes because you talk about pattern passing drills, which everybody loves except the goalie who just stands there. But working on your passing pattern. When you're playing out from pressure, you want to know exactly who's going to be where. This ball is played into the middle. Owens can't get the shot away. Luca Bartoni back doing his part defensively. Right-footed shot from, that was Zach Kester. Sails wide, but you do your passing drills so that when you're under pressure, you don't have to look. You know that, okay, this is where my winger is, this is where my holding midfielder is, this is where my defense is. But CBC not quite there yet. When they're under pressure, they're not sure what to do with the ball, which is normal early in the season, but that's something I would imagine they will be working on, some of those patterns to play out of pressure.
Even if you are fantastic at playing that pattern and working yourself out of a tough situation, if the pressure is good enough, it just forces you to make the mistake.
Ethan Mayo cuts inside, draws the foul. And this will be a free kick opportunity for CBC. You'd have to think maybe a little bit far for a shot, although we've seen crazier things.
And you know what my theory on this is?
You're going to say rip it, aren't you?
Light it up, make the keeper make a save, and then look for a rebound.
Yeah, and crash the keeper. Marco Anik will take it. He's got it on the right foot. With the length of this run-up, I would guess this is going to be a ball into the back post. He's got Villa and Peters there. I would guess Peters is the target back post. He gets a good jump on his man. Might be offsides, but ball hits the first man instead. Caden Smith does a nice job stepping up, gives Marco another chance. Marco plays it up. And Zumwalt South is going to play away from the pressure here. Oh, no. Is that Caden Smith again? Great job by Caden Smith. He is going after him. Really impressive. Marco Anik now gets around to the right side. Can he get a cross in? No, but he does win a corner for the team.
You know, you look at you go back to that free kick opportunity. You don't get many chances at the high school level and above to score. They're few and far between. So when you get an opportunity like that, you've got to make the best of it. At least get the ball up in the air. And Marco's, he's in one of my classes. I know he's going to be giving me trouble.
Oh, yeah.
But get the ball up in the air and at least, and that might have been a play where they're trying to play it low to the front post. I don't know. I can't see from here.
Mayo's corner, it flicked on, and that may go out for a Zumwalt South throw. It will.
But even like that, you know, you get a good head on that ball, you got a scoring opportunity.
True.
I hate playing the short ball on a corner. I mean, you know,
yeah,
that drives me nuts.
You know, I wonder, I know you've had some practice with some set pieces, so my guess is maybe they had worked on something. Clearly, Alex Peters was trying to get around his man. Might have just been a miss hit. Because Peters has been good in the air defensively, so I would imagine with the jump he got, he was the target back post. That's probably something Coach McAvoy and the boys have worked on in practice. but maybe just a little bit of a mishit from Marco. That would be my theory.
Well, and he's a big, strong kid. You know, like that. Light it up.
I'm not surprised
old
you're
school.
still making that
I'm
argument,
old school.
Randy.
I am.
I'm not surprised.
You know,
Put those Sambas through it, right?
mid-'80s soccer.
5:52 to go. The Cadets trailing 1-0 thanks to a Bulldog goal with 11:27 to go here in the first half from Carson Gibbs, his 20th of the season. You heard that correctly.
Here you go again.
Now, this is a little closer. I think he's going to hit this one. I think this is a good 5 yards closer, good 4 yards closer. And I say that because some of the defenders haven't even come up for this. Peters isn't up for this. Court Camp doesn't appear to be up for this. Some of those taller guys are hanging back, so I think Marco lights this one up. Here you go, Randy.
Top right shelf.
This one's for you. Hits the wall.
That's all right.
We get a second go with the left. No. He's going to dump it in back post for Villa, who was offsides. Bulldog free kick. That one, I think, absolutely the right call. The first one was just in kind of that iffy range for me. Clearly not for everyone in this booth.
He's right-footed, so I think if that ball was on this side, I would say light it up because you can hit that curl to the top right post.
Ball played through. This is Caden Smith. Loses out. Luke Walsh again is there to the rescue. He is having himself a great game. Luke Walsh, #2.
Yeah, a good, quick 3 or 4 first steps. That's so important. You saw it there, an explosion of speed.
And I don't mean any disrespect. You look at him and you don't necessarily think center back. He's not the biggest guy out there, but he reads the game so well, puts himself in such great positions. And again, with those first few steps, he doesn't need to be that big. He's getting himself and he's impacting the game as a center back and doing a phenomenal job of it. Clock is going to tick to about 4 minutes by the time Luke Dillon puts his boots through this. As we get ready to see out the last few minutes of the half, we want to say thanks to the folks at Mercy Sports Medicine, continuing to take great care of our student athletes, certainly now as much as ever. Mercy is ranked as a top-tier Catholic health system nationally. They offer the highest quality health care for students and their families. We know that firsthand. Kristen Jeans takes great care of our young men. To learn more, visit www.mercy.net. Luca Bartoni closing down, and he forces a mistake out of Walsh, but it does result in a Bulldog throw-in. Down the sideline, ball boy let one go on the field. The praise went to his head, Randy. And that is hammered out, or attempted to be cleared by Peters. Finds his way to Carson Gibbs. Carson looks for Riley. So much intelligent movement, and notice how quickly Zumwalt South is getting numbers around the box. Great throw out by Stenger, puts Villa in a great position where he can cut inside on that right foot. Tries a left-footed pass. I think that might be something that I would guess the program's probably going to target. You know, with what he's shown on the right, operating on this left-hand side, you know, if he could really develop a left foot where he'd be able to beat you either way, what a phenomenal winger he would be. He's already been very solid. Again, just a freshman. That one is out off of him. It'll be a Zumwalt South throw. But going back to the point, Zumwalt South doing a great job of getting numbers forward early, and they understand each other very well. They're running off of each other incredibly well.
Yeah, I was getting ready to use the word composed. You know, they're not frantic when they get the ball. They 1-2 touches, keep it when they need. You see it here. See, keep the ball moving.
Yep. This is Owens. Good weight on that touch. And well ushered out by the player who's hiding his numbers from me. That's out of bounds. It will be a CBC throw. Is that number 16, I believe? Is that Dylan James? This is Luca Bartoni at the other end. That was Dylan James, number 16. Now Carson Gibbs looking for a second in this game. The 21st on the season, and that'll be gathered by Stenger. Good pressure from Peters to slide over there. Mentioned Peters was going to have to be composed tonight, and he has been so far. We talked about Walsh at the other end and how well he's reading the games. Peters has been good for CBC so far. To my mind, his first start as a center back for CBC.
Yeah, what an important position.
This is James over there. Stenger was out. Now Villa misplays the pass inside. He was looking for Sinak. Ball played in, cleared. Luca Bartoni. Cadets are trying to work this out under pressure. Bad pass forces Villa backwards.
I think we're just CBC's just getting a little out-hustled right now.
And I think they're tired legs, too. 55 seconds to go. Ball played in. Stenger, weird spin on it, but Stenger's going to gobble it up. He's going to think quick and see if he's got anything. And that attempting to block it was, I believe, Riley Gibbs. But Stenger gets it away. Clock is at 38 and counting. Will there be one more opportunity here? Owens. He found Uelk.
Nice ball.
And now in for Carson Gibbs. Right-footed shot. What a finish.
Wow.
Carson Gibbs gets his second goal of the game with 26.5 seconds to go.
Very composed there on the finish, as you saw. It just he waited for the keeper to make his move and then placed it perfectly.
And there is absolutely nothing a goalkeeper can do about it. There aren't a whole lot of goalkeepers in the world that could do anything about that one. As you're moving across your left side as a keeper, he hammers it against your momentum, and that thing was in off the post. It was absolutely perfect.
And if he doesn't go down, you try to dribble him to the right and play it in, so.
No, it's just a perfect execution.
Again, a great ball that set that whole play up.
It was. Ball played in the middle by Mayo. Luca Bartoni can't get on the end of it.
I mean, there's been some great finishes tonight, but if you had to give an MVP, it would be the assist on all these goals.
7 seconds to go, and that looks like, can CBC throw it in quickly? 2 seconds to go. We will end the first half. The score is 2-0 in favor of the undefeated Zumwalt South Bulldogs. We are going to take a quick break here in the booth. When we come back,
the
Tim Kylo broadcast booth. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the first half, get you all set for second half action. It's halftime on CSN.
CBC alum and State Farm agent Tim Kylo is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Cadet Student Network. For more than 25 years, Tim and his team have helped their clients protect what is most valuable to them, whether it's home, auto, or business. CBC Alumni Hall of Famer Tim Kylo prides himself on his commitment to the CBC community, and he can help protect you and your family too. Give him a call at 314-842-4442 to see how Tim can save you money on your insurance. Learn more online at timkylo.com.
Men for tomorrow, brothers for life. We say it often, and we take great pride in our commitment to this motto. That commitment has become a part of who we are at CBC. Our brotherhood is well defined. We see it, we feel it, we experience it every day. It's in the relationships we establish, the moments we share, and the memories we will cherish forever. But what does it mean to be a man for tomorrow? It means that you've prepared your mind, your body, your spirit, and your conscience for anything that life might throw your way. Your experiences at CBC should push you, challenge you, and inspire you to make the world a better place. And after 4 years, every cadet who walks across that stage at graduation will be a man who is guided by faith, strengthened by intellect, committed to justice, and prepared to lead and serve.
I am a difference maker. Oh, I am only one who speaks to him, and I am the friendliest of friends of God. I am a difference maker. Oh, I am only one who speaks to him, and I am the friendliest
At CBC, we win awards, championships, and accolades of all kinds. We love to celebrate together and couldn't be more proud of these accomplishments. But ultimately, our purpose is much greater. CBC is here to develop young men who will go out and make a difference in the world. That's a man for tomorrow.
A CBC high school education is about a transformation from boys to men. It is about the formation of a brotherhood that will stand the test of time. It is about service and discovery. It is about coming to understand the world around us and the people that live in it, and ourselves through real life experiences.
Welcome to the Innovation Commons here at CBC High School. We're always so excited when our classes meet in this brand new facility. Whether we're building something new, collaborating on a group project, or talking with the guest speaker, this place makes learning fun. There are so many opportunities here. Take a look at what our teachers are doing to make our high school experience so valuable.
There's just a shift in education, a shift in learning to benefit our students. If we're talking about really helping to prepare these students, these young men, to go beyond these walls, then we have to do our due diligence and provide that type of environment.
One of the things that we like about the space is it mimics what's happening in industries, right? So we know that this is a shift not only in the way schools are moving, but the way companies are moving and businesses, and we wanted that kind of authentic experience. If we teach only what we know, we're doing them a disservice.
Big time.
We got to teach them how to learn on their own, because before long they know more than we.
One of the first lessons that we teach our guys in freshman leadership class is that everything builds off of character. And then we move into things like commitment and understanding what commitment is truly about, and the importance of seeing something through, having the resiliency to not cave at the first sign of adversity. It takes grit.
We're focusing on leading yourself before you can go out and lead others, and really trying to define what leadership is. It's not necessarily being, captain of a team or a club, president of a club. Really, it's about trying to just impact the world in a positive way.
And when the guys walk into this place, there's something that changes. I asked one of my students the other day, I said, what do you think the difference is? They said, well, when you come in here to work. And so this place, just by the very nature of being in here, changes the mindset. It changes their way of thinking.
Men for tomorrow, brothers for life. We say it often, and we take great pride in our commitment to this motto. That commitment has become a part of who we are at CBC.
Our brotherhood is well defined. We see it, we feel it, we experience it every day. It's in the relationships we establish, the moments we share, and the memories we will cherish forever.
But what does it mean to be a man for tomorrow? It means that you've prepared your mind, your body, your spirit, and your conscience for anything that life might throw your way. Your experiences at CBC should push you, challenge you, and inspire you to make the world a better place. And after 4 years, every cadet who walks across that stage at graduation will be a man who is guided by faith, strengthened by intellect, committed to justice, and prepared to lead and serve.
I difference maker. Oh, I am only one who speaks to him, and I am friendliest of friends of God. I am a difference maker. Oh, I am only one who speaks to him, and I am friendliest of friends of God.
At CBC, we win awards, championships, and accolades of all kinds. We love to celebrate together and couldn't be more proud of these accomplishments. But ultimately, our purpose is much greater. CBC is here to develop young men who will go out and make a difference in the world. That's a man for tomorrow.
A CBC high school education is about a transformation from boys to men. Is about the formation of a brotherhood that will stand the test of time. It is about service and discovery. It is about coming to understand the world around us and the people that live in it, and ourselves through real life experiences.
Welcome back. We are at halftime of CBC versus Fort Zumwalt South here on the Cadet Student Network. My name is Tom Eichwald. Alongside me is Mr. Randy Gardner, and the Cadets find themselves 2 goals down after 2 excellent finishes from Carson Gibbs. The first coming with 11:27 to go in the first half, and the second coming with just 26 seconds remaining in that first half. Right at the end, he was able to get another one on a superb finish to Sean Stanger's right-hand post. And that is how we end up at 2-0. It has really been a fairly evenly contested game for the most part, Randy Gardner.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the first half about being a very evenly played game. It doesn't show it on the scoreboard. If you're CBC, that's exactly what you don't want to happen. Somebody to score on you with 1 minute left in the half, and if you're Fort Zumwalt South, that's exactly what you want to do. Now you're up by 2 goals. A little bit. I don't want to say you've got the opportunity to relax a little bit, but that one mistake is not going to cost you the game.
Fans, would you like to save a few dollars? Of course you would. That's why you need to give State Farm agent and CBC Hall of Famer Tim Kylo a call. He's listening. I should probably get that one right. Sorry, Mr. Kylo. Let him help you save, just like he's helping CBC Executive Director of Strategy and Student Life, Patrick Walsh. He moved his life, home, and auto policies to Tim, save more than $1,000 on his annual payments. That's $1,000 of savings on his annual payments. Call or email Tim during this timeout to see how he can help you. Give him a call, 314-842-4442, or send him an email, tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com. That just unraveled.
Hey, how many times have you read that commercial over the past 6 years?
If I'm not looking at a piece of paper, I can rattle that thing off without looking. To be honest, full disclosure, that's my safety read. If I know I need to do a read, but I'm not sure what to do, I go with that one first because I can recite it from memory while looking for the other ones.
Or tim@timkylo.com, right?
KILO, yeah.
In the middle of the night, I just say that out loud.
It just unraveled as I was doing it. So that's the folks don't want to see that. But we'll tell you about so many of our sponsors. But Mr. Kylo did text us at the break. He's watching tonight. We hope he's enjoying the broadcast. CBC is proud to announce that East Bay is the official apparel provider of Cadet Athletics. East Bay and Under Armour keep our players and coaches looking good on the field, and they can make you look good too. Keep your eye out for our CBC online team stores or shop anytime at www.eastbay.com. And the Tim Kylo kickoff in the second half.
False start.
We'll have to wait.
Yellow flag.
Riley Gibbs is ready to go, isn't he? Luca Bartoni plays it back to Marco Anik, and we are underway. Long ball searching into the corner. Doesn't end up getting there. Should say the goals in the first half were assisted. The first one by Lovell and the second one by Kobe Yulk.
There's a nice break here. A nice ball straight up the middle.
It is. This is Owens. Put himself in some great situations. Left-footed shot is blocked by Peters. Truth be told, I don't really think he connected on it, and that is a foul going out. CBC free kick. Riley Gibbs and his older brother Carson lead the line, number 9 and number 13 for Fort Zumwalt South. Between them, let's see if I can adjust on the fly, they have 31 goals between them. And I believe, if memory, actually, I don't have to rely on memory. I can tell you how many assists they've got between them. That's 17. Quite prolific up there.
I was going to say impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, and if you look at some of the score lines on their season, they have been not just winning games, but they have been dominating games as Bartoni heads out. I mean, here's the score lines just going down their season. 3-0, 7-0, 4-0, 7-2, 8-0, 4-2, 4-2, 2-0, 5-0, 4-0. I mean, that's their season so far, and they're up 2-0 here. That gives you an idea of just how dangerous they are.
And what's impressive is they're scoring 50-plus goals, and they're not giving up many goals either.
And they are not. They have only given up 6 goals all season. This is their 11th game. Owens, just wide of the post. He was able to get a left foot on an awkward bounce, and it sails just wide of Stanger's left-hand post. He was helpless on that one. Fortunately, it goes on the right side of the post.
So, Tom, CBC coaching, what do you tell the guys coming out 2 goals down after a late goal at the very end?
Well, you talk about the field in different segments. I mean, as far as what you tell the entire team, you tell them you guys hung with them a little bit, but notice what happened when you let your guard down. You let your guard down just a little bit, and you're 2 goals down. That's when they hit you. So it's a reminder that, staying sharp 70% of the time just isn't good enough against a team like this. As Ethan Mayo is in down the left side, he's going to cross it in. He was looking for Caden Smith, but Smith was up at the penalty spot, and that ball was played in the 6-yard box. To finish the point, you have to stay glued in all the time. Defensively, I think they just lost track a little bit of Carson Gibbs, who was very, very intelligent in his motion, and he got himself lost in the defensive scheme a few times, and they were able to find him on some excellent passes. So I think you have to be a little bit more communicative at the back. Peters and Stanger really need to be loud in getting everything organized back there, since they can see more of the field than just about anybody else. On the offensive side, I think you do need to be a little bit more creative, a little more diagonal, a little more less direct. And you mentioned it a few times, Randy, drop back into the midfield a little bit. Try different combinations. Leading the line all the time is not going to work. Try dropping back. Try, watch what the other guy is doing. Try running off of each other. Those are some of those things that we just haven't seen CBC do nearly enough of.
And I'm a big proponent. You hear me always talk about control the ball, slow the ball down. Let's try to slow the game down. I don't know if I tell the guys that right now or in the second half as you start here. I think you play quick, you play short, you try to get those passes lined up. These guys, if you watch the South guys, like right here, there's 3 guys attacking the ball all the time. So you've got to play the ball quick and work yourself out of those tough situations.
Marco Anik dribbling in. A great defensive tackle. I think that was that Luke Walsh again? That kid is everywhere. Number 2. He is phenomenal to watch. Center back in the first half looks like, okay, he slotted back in at center back. He moved a little bit forward and was backtracking there, but he is a center back alongside Jelinek. Dominic Bartoni beaten to the ball and commits a foul. That's good hustle by Carson Gibbs to get back and put the pressure on him. It is an interesting dynamic, and one of the things that a young team always needs to learn early is when to slow things down and when to press. Right off a kickoff, you generally want to press a little bit, but even moments, like before the half, you saw that, and you like that a goalkeeper's first instinct is to get that ball out, with 30 seconds or so to go, try to get that goal. But that maybe isn't always, the best option, especially when you've had a few rough minutes. So those are some of the examples of things, and we mentioned the running off of each other. Those are things that this team will figure out. And in soccer, the way it works is, when you enter that district tournament, as that ball is headed back to Dylan, when you enter that district tournament, you're guaranteed a playoff game. You win 2 games, you win your district, and yes, seeding can come into play. But the regular season is about getting ready for that postseason. It's not about qualifying. It's not about getting results. It's about learning and getting to a point where you as a team are ready to compete with the best in the state at the end. And so no matter what happens tonight, those are those sorts of things that this team, as young as they are, as relatively inexperienced at so many positions as they are, that games like this are golden because they're learning so much. And Dominic Bartoni commits a foul there. That's a couple on him. He may want to watch it. There might be I think he's getting the official gesture of settle down as he brought down Cole Lemkeman.
just a sign of frustration from the guys there. You start seeing as the half goes on and they get more frustrated, things will happen more like that. You've got him pinned with his back to you. He's not going to hurt you. Make him work the ball out of there.
And one of the things you notice, Randy, have you seen a captain's band on a CBC player tonight?
I have not.
I think that's intentional. I don't think they forgot him at home, if I had to guess. I would guess, they're saying, at the start of this season, let's go out, show me who my captains are, show me the leadership. And to be honest, one of the players that I think Peters has done a pretty good job at the back, I've really been impressed with Caden Smith. Number 7 up top. He has been all over the place. And when we've complimented Zumwalt South so much for trying to press, trying to close, trying to deny people the opportunity of the ball, look what he just created just by sheer hustle alone. Caden Smith has been doing that all night. Way to go, Caden. Keep it up. Ball played through. Luca to his younger brother Dominic. Cross comes in. That's headed out by Walsh, of course. And now they're looking to play out down the flank. This is Owens. They have numbers forward, a couple of them. Not a ton. Marco Anik reads it well, but he loses out, and this is a ball in the middle of the field. Owens now brings it into space. Peters steps up and clears. Now Bartoni, a little hectic right now between these two teams. Bartoni has Mayo. He's got Mayo. He needed to pass to Mayo there. Instead he goes Caden Smith. And now Burkett will look to get it on his left foot, and boy, does he love to hit it. But Ethan Mayo was wide open, and he's still gesturing, why don't you play it to me? That's twice now. Ethan Mayo's got himself in a great position, hasn't been played the ball.
Yeah, being inside here, you can't really hear the talk out there, the jabber, to hear if he was calling for the ball or not. A lot of times you get that ball, you put your head down, and you have that tunnel vision. You see the one guy with 2 or 3 steps there, and he played it, tried to do a give and go and get it back, but there was so much.
It's so hard
so
to
tight right there.
Look up and look across the field to see if you can keep that switch coming. And that's another one of those things that as this team gains experience throughout the year, I think
you just
in a week or two after a couple games, he's going to know that Mayo likes to find that spot. This is Caden Smith. Caden Smith trying to get it on his right, cuts it back on his left, leaves it back for Luca Bartoni, who can hit him from here. Luca Bartoni with the shot. He goes to ground, and he is saying he was fouled, but the official is saying no. Luca can't believe it, but this ball is in play in the midfield. Riley Gibbs poking it on. That was not Gibbs, but he ended up with it, so I'll just say I was early, not wrong. And now Carson Gibbs runs up against Liam Jacober, and this will be a throw-in for CBC. Luca Bartoni, maybe there was contact, but I think he was also maybe a little bit off balance as he was taking that shot. Flicked on by Luca Bartoni. He was looking for Marco Anik, who has made his way higher and higher on the field as this game has gone on. I think the reason is, I would guess, that he's generally very, very composed on the ball, and I think Coach Mickler is trying to get a little bit more composed possession higher on the field, and that's why we're seeing Marco Anik move out of that holding midfield role and drift forward whenever he can.
Yeah, as the half goes on here, I think you're going to have to.
Opportunity. This is Carson Gibbs. He's got Owens to his left. He keeps it on the right, and that's under Stanger, and Carson Gibbs has himself a hat trick. So Carson Gibbs, a goal in the second half with 30 minutes and 32 seconds to go. Boy, and Stanger's going to be sick about that one. That is so hard to get down to. It's a great finish by Gibbs. It's that Bermuda Triangle between where you would kick with your foot and where you can get your hand down. So often you see even goalkeepers at the highest levels not be able to get to one when it's hit with power right there as a hat comes down from the field and is thrown right next to, I believe, an administrator at Zumwalt South, who's none too pleased, but a hat trick nonetheless.
Yeah, great shot there. Defensively, I think you got to step up. You can't take that step back. You've got to step up and try to pressure that ball quickly. When that ball's bouncing like that in front of the goal, you've got to just take 2, 3, 4 quick steps straight at the ball, try to distract it, cause deflection, just cause something. I'd like to see that on I wish we had our replay going tonight. I would like to see that again. And you know, it happens so quick. You've got a split second to decide, am I going to take a step forward? Am I going to step back? So it's easy to stand up here and, second armchair quarterback anything anybody's doing tonight.
But it's What did I say? This is
It's
about
a learning
learning and trying to
process. It
figure
is.
out what those roles are. It's also a little bit different look than we've seen from a CBC defense, just based on the personnel. You're seeing Peters hang way back behind. Right now, it looks like a defensive midfielder and Liam Jacober.
Well, just
as he's filling in on the wing, but a little bit different configuration, and I think part of it is just learning that configuration too.
Well, you can't really see it on the TV broadcast right now, but the ball's up at the 10-yard line, and our last guys, we've got 3-4 guys 30 to 40 yards off the ball defensively. You've got to start closing that gap a little bit. Look back here in the back. You got to start closing that gap up.
Marco Anik trying to get a shot away. He's closed down by Luke Walsh.
And this is what I mean right there. There's the gap, the space.
Owens is tackled by Ethan Mayo, who's going to claim he got the ball, but at this level, when you come in even semi from behind, that's going to get called more often than not. So Ethan rightly claiming he got the ball, but I think dangerous play, and that's why it's given.
Yeah, even if you do get the ball on a clean slide tackle from behind like that, it's
if this is the Premier League, you say nice tackle, but at this level, they're going to take safety every time, and you certainly understand that. But you can also understand the frustration from Mayo. Carson Gibbs cuts inside. He gets some contact from Jacober. Referee says not enough. Now this is Peters, your center back. Now turned right wing. Now turned central striker. Runs out of steam when he hits Luke Walsh, who boots it long. Carson Gibbs couldn't go for that as he was in an offside position, but Jacober just misplays it. Now Gibbs can get in there, and the referee is going to say that's a foul by Carson Gibbs, who will feel that was shoulder to shoulder against Jacober. Nice handshake between the two, but it's a free kick, CBC.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. He's got some explosive speed. That
He does.
first 2 or 3 steps is, as a defender, if you're playing against him, you got to play him tight, but you also have to respect it and give him that 2 or 3 steps because he can beat you quickly.
He has to be so frustrating to try to defend because he's just everywhere. He's physical. He's in your face. This is Mayo, who controls. He turns. He's closed down from behind by Bressler. Fights off the pressure, though.
Look how many South guys are behind the ball right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've got 8 guys behind at the ball or behind the ball. Oh, nice ball.
That was Dylan James, and he was looking for Marco Anik. Just a heavy touch, and Luke Dillon claims comfortably. Nice smell of stadium popcorn. I've missed that, Randy. I can't wait for it. It's one of those pretzels from Pretzel Boys at the CBC Stadium next time we're able to do a game there. And good pressure by Peters as he's able to push Yulk off his balance, so he couldn't find the pass to Carson Gibbs, who I assume was his target based on the position. 27 minutes to go. Tom Eichwald and Randy Gardner. You're watching the Cadet Student Network. We are bringing you CBC versus Fort Zumwalt South. Both teams undefeated so far in the season, but Zumwalt South looking for their 11th win, CBC in their first game. That was for the Dean. I talked to the Dean before the game. I said, Dean, what do you think? He said, both teams are undefeated. I said, thank you for your analysis.
It's a good way to look at it.
It is. It is, and there's a foul, and good sportsmanship displayed there by Zach Kester.
26-33 left here in the first half. You're down by 2 goals. You can only score 1 at a time. You've got to be patient here. Don't try to do something quickly and give up that third goal, because then you're not probably going to come back from 3. 2's manageable. 3.
Liam Jacober's cross is claimed by Dillon.
Is not.
I was wondering if you were going to finish that.
I was. I didn't want to step on your words, but with a team like South who's hustling the way they are, I think even 2's hard to come back on. I think if they're going to do anything right now, what they need to do is almost lure Fort Zumwalt South into trying to slow the game down. Slow. Goalkeeper change?
Yep. Will Brackett is going to come in goal, and also coming onto the field is number 14, James Brewster for CBC. He is another freshman. He's a defender. So Will Brackett getting his first varsity minutes of his CBC career. That's unofficial, but I believe that to be the case. And we have a stoppage of play here. Anik is going to find himself in the book. And very frustrated. But he's going to say it's for a couple of offenses. He's going to say you got one over there, you got one over here, is reading the referee hand language.
You know, and that was a good tackle. If he wouldn't have turned his shoulder there, and turned his shoulder into him, he would have won that ball, and it would have been a foul. He kind of turned into, if he would have just ran straight through the ball. But I think that all started on the throw, and I don't know if you saw them kind of pushing each other. A little frustration there, and that's just soccer.
It is.
And that's soccer when you're down 2-0. 3-0. I was thinking on the wishful side.
We appreciate.
You think I can wish that last goal away?
We appreciate the attempt at denial.
Hey, remember, I'm 52 now.
If we could wish things away, I think we'd leave the comment there.
What a great through ball.
Yeah, it was. Another one from Zumwalt South. And you also have to factor in that, this is a good team in Zumwalt South. They're also in mid-season form. So you're coming in and, these things we're kind of being critical of, from a CBC perspective, and we're trying to do it in a constructive way. It's certainly how it's intended. But you are going up against a team that has been playing together for a few weeks now. So, I'd love to see these two teams meet up again in, 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Sure.
When you as a CBC team, you have a better sense of your lineup, you got a better sense of roles, you have a better sense of those passing patterns and how you defend. I think it'd be a great matchup. Good control by Alex Etzel. Look at first touch from a freshman. Etzel, a name very familiar to CSN viewers out there. Oldest brother Otto, kicker on the football team. His older brother Henry, state champion soccer player, who I believe scored a goal in a state final in 2018, if memory serves. So the Etzel family has been mentioned a few times from the Tim Kylo broadcast booth. Will Brackett gets his first touch of the game. And he is in there, such an adjustment when you come in as a keeper, especially at this level against a team as fast as Zumwalt South. Your decisions have to be made faster. Distribution is affected. Everything has to be done faster. And when you're making your first start of the season or first appearance of the season, it is going to take an adjustment period. And I know that Sean Stanger is going to be very disappointed with the way the game played out. It wasn't what he was hoping for. But he made a couple of very nice decisions. He made a great save down to his right. So he's got absolutely nothing to be ashamed of as, again, he adjusts to the pace of the varsity game. And he's going to benefit from this. And Will Brackett, I'm sure, will as well. So that down the stretch you got a couple keepers you can rely on. 22:58 to go. 3-0 Zumwalt South. This free kick will be taken by Alex Peters.
Yeah, we talked about the youth on the cadet side of the ball early in the game. You're looking at a freshman on this field playing in a varsity soccer game. It doesn't happen very often. I mean, these guys are 3 to 4 years older than him.
Well, and although it's Class 3, I mean, you're up against a team that really likes their chances and is maybe a favorite for the Class 3 state championship too. So you're going up against a team of guys who believe themselves to be champions and may well be in a few months. That's played out of bounds. Cadet fans, do you know a grade school student who might be a future cadet? Please encourage him to pay us a visit and experience CBC for himself. Find our admissions team online at beacadet.org. Every 8th grader should schedule his official visit to CBC today. Spend a day with us and experience what CBC is all about. I got that read twice on my script, so I'll be sure to mention that later.
Just got informed from our chief meteorologist, Braden Paulus tonight, not James Motes.
Oh, you built me up there. I was expecting Motesy.
That it's sprinkling a little bit outside.
Marco Annick's right-footed cross flicked on by Caden Smith, and that is wide. And the reason it was on there twice is because there's more. We mentioned the official visit you can schedule, but if you go to beacadet.org, new for the class of 2025, we have our CBC Showcase events this October. It's a chance to spend some time with us. We'll showcase some of our great programs we have to offer: academics, STEM, leadership, fine and performing arts, athletic program, mission and ministry, and many more. Register at beacadet.org/showcase.
We had several guys out today and yesterday at campus.
Always great talking to our visitors and hearing a little bit about where they're coming from, what they're interested in, what they're looking for in high school. And I remember it wasn't that long ago. I was that kid.
Oh, come on.
I was.
Come on.
I was sitting in a classroom. Austin was my ambassador. I don't remember his last name. But the funny thing was I was actually visiting at the Clayton campus, and everybody told me we would take you on a tour, but we won't because you'll never go to school in this building. And then a few months later, there I was starting in Town and Country. There were still tarps on the ground in the academic wing.
I remember in the 80s playing back on the grass field over there.
What's grass?
The old building. Wow.
Is it like turf?
It kind of, somewhat.
I'm sure the
kids today don't know what it's like to play on grass.
Well, and a few years ago, you were a kid who grew up playing on grass, and then you get to high school and you get these nice turf fields that you play tournaments on. But anymore, I mean, you're growing up playing on turf. You look at all these club facilities, and you know this well, Randy. It's all turfed.
Slica does a really good job with their fields down on Highway 370. They were flooded. We played out there in a tournament a couple of weekends ago. The grass has come back really nice. Nice, thick grass.
Boy, having a pop on free kicks, talking about you are reliving the old days tonight. You are ready to get out there and play. That pass is intended. We should probably get back to talking about the game.
I was just kind of watching the game. I stopped and thought about the way that they're playing right there. Exactly what we were saying that we needed to do was when our striker receives the ball, he's holding it and letting his midfielders come up and then playing the ball out wide, and they move up as a team.
Owens looking inside. He was looking on a return pass as bracket gathers. The return pass was intended for Cole Lemkeman, who went down with some contact, but all fair, says the referee. And that ball did go out of bounds as James couldn't keep it in.
Make sure and join us Saturday night as we will be televising CBC football against Eureka, the first game of the year. That game
5 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. Did I say 7?
I just wanted to make sure, 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
I was actually checking the roster. I have no idea what you said, I'll be honest.
Now you sound like my wife. Well,
I am not going to comment on that. Cadet fans, if you need insurance, call Tim Kylo, 314-842-4442. That read was apropos of nothing. Nice job by Walsh again to win it back. 18 minutes remaining. And that is Caden Smith trying to make something happen up there. We got a substitution looming for the Cadets as they try to get something going. Been a little stagnant over the last few minutes. Let's see if I can see who that is coming in. It will be number 18 for the Cadets. That is Garrier. I am probably mispronouncing that name. I'll follow up with him tomorrow to make sure I'm getting that one right.
Did you get new goggles?
Yeah, new broadcasting binoculars.
I was going to say they're stronger than the ones you used last year.
I only talked about bringing binoculars to games for 5 years before I finally did. There used to be a pair in the press box at CBC, of course. And here is the substitution. So Garrier is going to come on for Liam Jacober, another freshman getting his CBC debut.
We'll see how well they work if we wear the striped yellow jerseys again. Then I'll get you a telescope.
Might need it. All right, Marco Anik dropping deep. Wins possession. And right under the foot of James, who will wish he had that one back, but it's going to be a throw in for Zumwalt South. Owens trying to turn in field. Good read, though, by James Brewster. Now Etzel. Good ball. Finds Marco Anik. Can he get there? No. He's beaten to it by Jack Jelinek. Really nice defensive play by Jelinek. That is exactly why Coach Lane was telling me before the game how pleased he was with this center back pairing of Walsh and Jelinek so far this season. Now this is Riley Gibbs. Bressler plays it out to the right. We get a diagonal ball in, looking for Owens. Owens lets it go, and we get contact here between Garrier and Lemkeman. Looks like incidental. And that ball is played long out of bounds. It will be a Bulldog throw. 15 minutes, 37 seconds remaining in this half. CBC Hall of Fame member and Cadet Student Network sponsor Tim Kylo is serving the needy in our community. Tim leads Resurrection Charities Foundation, an organization dedicated to feeding and supporting the homeless through street outreach. To learn more about Tim's work or to help, just search Resurrection Charities Foundation on Facebook. Show your support for this great organization. Ball one in the midfield. This is Dylan James. Dribbling it in the middle. He's got a little bit of time. Finds Marco Anik, who seems to be everywhere for the last few minutes. Now Smith. Etzel. Into the middle. This is Gibbs. Carson Gibbs looking for his brother Riley. Brackett out and read it quickly and was able to gather it. And I take back the captain comment. It looks like Marco Anik is wearing an armband. It's a dark armband that's been under his jersey most of the night, but he is a captain. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple more throughout the season. We've seen that before.
Yeah, talking to some of the guys earlier this week, they were talking about how they really felt that over the past couple of weeks, this team has really kind of solidified and came together as a team, knowing that they had a goal in mind, and everybody starting to get on the same page. And that's tough to do when you got guys who are seniors and then you're playing next to a guy who's a freshman. You know, you've got to trust a guy who's 3 to 4 years younger than you with not that much experience.
More substitutions coming for CBC as the clock goes below 14 minutes. We'll have an uncontested drop ball here. Walsh will gather. I think they're saying, do we play it back to the keeper? What's happening here is Caden Smith is pressing. Pressure over on the far side as Zumwalt South wins it back. They're going to look up for Owens, but another good read by Brewster intercepts it. Now a foot race at the other end. Smith is going to chase down Luke Dillon, who does a nice job to get a foot on it, prevents a corner kick, and sends a ball boy out to the street. Maybe those fans walking by will grab it for. No, there he goes. Okay. The ball has been secured, folks.
So, Tom, you looking forward to a professional team here in St. Louis?
I am. We were talking a little before the game both about, and you were talking to Lutz Pfannenstiel, the sporting director for St. Louis City SC. And I'll spare you the angry calls from STL FC fans because there has been professional soccer in St. Louis, but just not at the MLS level. And I am looking forward to it. I think it's going to be one of those things that is going to be yet another showcase. As this ball's played in the middle, Etzel couldn't bring it down. And now, can the Cadets work it in? No. And you see the frustration there from, that is number 5, Dylan Weiss, as we all learn new roster numbers. But I do think it's going to be another opportunity for St. Louis to showcase itself and its love for soccer. And I really credit Lutz for visiting high school games. He's been going to high school games, trying to get a feel for the local soccer culture. Of course, he's coming to MLS from the Bundesliga, so the guy knows a little bit about soccer culture. And I think he's probably thrilled with what he's seen and the way that soccer is supported here. And I think it's going to be such a natural fit for St. Louis, which has long been one of the soccer capitals of the country. And going all the way back to the turn of the 20th century. The first time soccer was contested as an exhibition in the Olympics was 1904, and CBC actually has a silver medal from that game. They lost to FC Galt from Canada, and we don't need to go into the final score of that game. So long tradition here, and I'm glad it's going to be kind of recognized and bleed into an MLS franchise.
I will tell you that, like anything else in St. Louis, winning will bring support. It doesn't matter. I mean, you saw that with the Battlehawks. I wasn't sure what was going to happen with them. They come out.
How great was that?
They start winning, and the place becomes packed. Same thing with soccer. I think you put a good team on the field, a team that can compete, and you'll keep the place packed. I think if you St. Louis fans are such bandwagon fans that you start losing,
In the good sense of the term.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You lose a few games, they want everybody fired, everybody traded. Just the way it goes here in St. Louis.
Yeah, and that was a nice cross in by Carson Gibbs that was gathered very comfortably by Will Brackett. And now CBC at the other end. I think that's Peter Dunphy trying to get it on his left foot. Steady passes it forward as we see a few new faces in there. Getting a little bit more experience for some of the younger players. Closing that down is Dylan Weiss. Dylan Weiss, a senior, of course. He's been around the program for a few years now. We get a foul called, and that will be against Zumwalt South. This will be an indirect kick.
Hopefully we'll have James Motes do some weather broadcast.
That'd be great.
Pre-game weather broadcast for the broadcast. Maybe on football, we'll put some stuff out on social media so you'll know if you need to bring a coat or a rain parka.
Gore-Tex, perhaps?
Maybe.
This is Peters with the right foot. Under 10 minutes to go in this game. Cadets looking for something offensively. It's going to come out as far as Guerrier. Guerrier hits it in. That would have been a handball and a penalty in the Premier League all week, but instead it's sanity pervades. The FA doesn't find high school announcers, do they?
There were a lot of questionable calls in
there were,
the
although
Premier League.
I think they announced that they're going to relax that. They were attempting to call every handball, but I think they announced they're going to relax that a little bit after coaches and clubs were protesting, which is probably for the best. This is Marco Anik. Speaking of for the best, he's trying to get a cross in. Instead, that's out off of number 7, Dylan Rich. And that will be a corner kick to the Cadets. Late opportunity. Fun fact, by the way, since I don't get many opportunities to talk about that, I mentioned the 1904 Olympic soccer team, CBC with a silver medal. One of the players on that team also medaled in that Olympics in boxing. So that 1904 Olympic soccer team actually had a guy with 2 medals in 2 different sports at the same Olympics, going all the way back to 1904. There's your fun fact. I used to know his name, but it's on Wikipedia. Cross comes in, and it's headed clear by Zumwalt South. Shot came back in by Sinak, and I think Anik was in an offside position and couldn't chase it. 8:27 remaining.
We look forward on the schedule to what we have coming up in terms of CSN2. So tomorrow will be the kickoff of that, and that will be, you can find all the information on our social media. We'll have it on our website. We'll have it everywhere where you can just click and actually go there. That will be an auxiliary channel for us to highlight games and televise games with just basically one camera, no announcers, games that we're not able to do on CSN here.
And that is going to be a foul. And we have a penalty kick. And we have a stoppage of the clock as it looked like Carson Gibbs was hauled down over there. Oh, no, it wasn't Gibbs. That was, let's see if I can get a number on that. We're hearing, what is that number? It looks like 18. That was Connor Lovell. I believe so. He was fouled. And we got a penalty kick. Welcome to Varsity Soccer, Will Brackett. Here's somebody unleashing from 12 yards. Who's going to take it? Looks like Lavelle is going to take it as well. This is Connor Lavelle, the sophomore defender, going against the junior goalkeeper, is being reminded to keep his foot on or above that line until the ball is kicked. I doubt that will happen. Here it is, Lavelle with the right. Brackett guesses right. Gets a good dive in, but there's no saving that. Lavelle scores on a penalty kick to make it 4-0 in favor of the Bulldogs with 7 minutes 47 to go. Very well executed by Lavelle.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Just very composed, just stepped up to the ball, perfectly placed. Tom, as a keeper, are you trying to read his eyes? What are you doing? Are you just
keeper never
got it in your mind, you're just going?
A keeper never gives away his secret on that. A keeper will never answer that question for anybody. But since it doesn't matter for me, I will tell you the hips are always important because you can look at the eyes and a guy's going to look somewhere else. The plant foot is always a good one. Some guys look at the plant foot. Which way is that plant foot facing? some will look at the hips and some will wait to react. Some will say, okay, if I wait to react, I can cover maybe the middle, I don't know, I can cover the middle third and plus a little bit based on reach and reflexes. So it varies by goalkeeper, but plant, foot, and hips were always kind of the indicator. But then again, I was always terrible at penalties anyway.
So what's your thoughts on this new?
You make me sound like I was like a really good I was terrible, I'll be honest. I really was.
Come on, you're living in the world of television now. You can be as great as you want to be.
That's true. I mean, I was great.
We'll find film on you.
Oh, boy.
So, you haven't seen this too much until the past 4 or 5 years where penalty kicker will just step up and just place it right down the middle.
Yeah.
Does that drive you even nuttier?
There's nothing like diving out of the way as like a slow dink just comes in right over you. It's the Panenka is what they call that. And, Zidane was the best at it. And all you France fans will remember that the 06 World Cup, that red card he got, the worst part of it was because he wasn't able to take a penalty kick, and you lose on penalties. So that penalty kick down the middle is
you've got to have some confidence to do that.
Yeah, but one of the things, you're seeing a lot of stutter stepping on the penalties now.
A little hop step.
Well, and goalkeepers are wise to that because what the striker's doing when they stop is waiting to make the goalkeeper commit and then go the other way. And a goalkeeper, you take power off of it when you do that, and a goalkeeper's just going to wait you out and react. And that's, the battle you're seeing. So that battle has evolved. It used to be just guess and go. Yeah. This is Marco Anik. He'll be taking a right-footed outswinger. He's got a two-man wall in front of him. Not really a shooting situation. If he scores from here, I'll give him a cookie at lunch, but I don't think he'll try.
Drive it low and hard, straight across the...
He's going to go far post, try to head it back across. Takes a deflection. CBC trying to get it back in there on a shot. Can't do it. And it's headed clear temporarily with 5:45 to go. Trying to clear it now is Kyle Lovell. He is a senior defender, brother of Connor, who just converted that penalty kick.
Says you take a free kick and you drop it in with that little bit of a loft on it. If you're looking for a guy to get a head on it, you can't get a lot of power on a ball that's just lofted into you.
Nice flick by Bartoni, finds Dunphy. Dunphy trying to get on the right-footed shot, and he cannot get the shot away. Did nicely to control it and get it on his foot, but nice job to get back. I'm trying to see.
Yeah, he did a good job shielding the ball there and with the spin to hit.
And trying to see, it looked like that was number 3, Cole Lemkeman, who got back. Did a nice job getting back defensively, which we talk a lot about the intensity they bring to the offensive side, but they're doing a nice job of getting back, too. Dunphy using his body. And he shoulders the man off the ball. Ball played in the middle. Luca Bartoni puts it over and off the football upright. And it is a goal kick. That's when you know it's not your night.
Yeah, getting some opportunities late in the game here. That's all you can ask for right now. They're moving the ball pretty well. If they can take anything from this game, if you can get some movement, some shots on goal, maybe get a goal here within the last 4 minutes, kind of sets you up for the mindset as you move into the next game, which will be Thursday against Ladue. And then I think we play Saturday against Kirkwood. Is that correct? I think Saturday day, not Lindbergh.
Kirkwood-Lindbergh, yeah, I was going to say, I think it was Lindbergh. So that is Saturday. We will not be able to bring you that one because of the football game at 5 o'clock. That will be out at Northwest High School, I believe.
We're looking at maybe putting that one on CSN2.
Okay.
So keep your eyes on the schedules. Things with high school sports change daily. So
do they now? Do they?
They do. So keep your eye. We will try to keep you informed the best that we can on what channel, CSN, CSN2, what game, and where the games will be at. All the major games will be here on CSN.
Luke Walsh, right-footed free kick, is headed clear. I think that was by Dominic Bartoni, maybe number 9 back helping, if I saw that correctly. I could be wrong. I can't read those numbers from here, I'll be honest. That's why I brought my binoculars, Randy. And I think the header of that ball might have been Sinak, number 3, instead of 9. And tussle at the midfield. We got a whistle as that ball went out of play. No, it is a free kick. Taken quickly. In the middle, this is Dylan Weiss. Weiss finds Garrier. Dylan James on the right-hand side. Back inside for Weiss. Looking for Peter Dunphy in the corner. Can he get a cross in? He does. And that's easy for Jelinek in the end.
I think the ball was out of bounds.
I think it was. We get a stoppage of the clock with 3 minutes to go as we have a substitution. A couple players making their way off. Bresler and Owens making their way off for Zumwalt South. And onto the field is, looks like number 4 and number 10. That would be Zach Kester and Owen Kaysen.
I want to say a big thanks to Charles Bryan up top tonight. I know it's a little bit chilly on top of the roof. Who would have thought we'd be saying it's chilly outside after this 80-degree weather over the last couple of weeks. And to Braden Paulus, who's been manning all the controls tonight, making this whole thing happen. He will be at the helm all year long for us. So if you like what you see or you don't like what you see, email Braden Paulus, right? I'll give you his email next week. Always doing a great job. He's been with us since a freshman.
Freshman year, yeah.
Never have we had a sophomore president in CSN. And he's a junior now.
Marco Anik loses the ball temporarily, and he gets fouled. He's brought down by Kaysen.
Also want to say thanks. We've got a lot of crew. We don't bring them all out right now with everything that's going on. Timmy Fitzpatrick is student who is always a participant here in CSN. Also want to say a big thank you to Andrew Purcell, who's a major part of what we do here. There's a lot of guys, and I know I'm leaving some out. So
Peters delivers, and that is Luke Dillon gathering comfortably. Had to double check. Haven't said his name in a while. He's been fairly comfortable tonight. Made good decisions. He has been a rock-solid goalkeeper all night tonight, as he has been throughout his career. Just going about his work quietly. Can't remember any stellar saves or anything, but sometimes the best games you play as a goalkeeper are when you hardly get noticed. 1 minute, 15 seconds to go. CBC trying to keep it 3-0 at best.
4-0.
4-0 at best.
See,
There's
my
turn
now,
for denial.
yeah, I was going to say, now you did it.
Now, the funny thing is, normally I glance over mid-sentence. I've got I've kind of got a divider here, so I always leave myself hanging. I look over right as I'm saying the score, and I realize I got to pause or just go with it, and I made the wrong decision.
Now,
folks.
see, I can blame it on my age. You can't.
You're right. You're right. I'll blame it on rust. But man, is it good to be back in the booth, isn't it?
The crowd filing out.
39 seconds remaining on the clock. Peter Dunphy heading it in to Marco Anik. Dunphy will chase now into the corner. He'll try to get another cross in, but that's going to go out of bounds before he can get there. 25 seconds to go, and it's looking like the scoreline will finish 4-0 in favor of the Bulldogs from Zumwalt South. And if you are Fort Zumwalt South, job done. You had a test coming in against a perennial powerhouse program in CBC, and they have shown that they are every bit the program that the stats show they are. They have been absolutely phenomenal tonight. Their energy has been good. Their finishing has been good as Marco Anik is back up on his feet. And really, it's been a complete game from them. Defensively, they have done their job. They have not let CBC get away with comfortable shots. You know, there have been a couple opportunities for CBC to get a shot on target, and they kind of scuffed it a little bit, some early season miscues. But full credit to Zumwalt South as you get Carson Gibbs with a hat trick and then a final goal from Connor Lovell, who was fouled and then converted the penalty kick.
Yeah, what impressed me the most tonight about Fort Zumwalt South is that they did the simple things correct the entire game. The things that coaches teach players, they executed all night long.
And they did it with very high energy, which made CBC uncomfortable all night, especially at the back.
And it started right from the beginning.
It did. It did. And 3 seconds to go. This game is going to finish 4-0. And for CBC, first game of the year, a second consecutive year you lose to Fort Zumwalt South. But I think there are certainly positives tonight, especially from a learning perspective.
Yeah, you've got to take into the whole concept that this is your first game out. Yeah, you did lose 4-0, but you lost 4-0 to a really, really good team. Unfortunately, that's the team that you drew the first night that you're out here playing, but that's just the way it goes. You take what you need to work on, you take it into practice, you look forward. The nice thing about it is you turn around and you play again Thursday, and then you turn around again and you play Saturday. So it's time to put this game in your pocket, forget about it, and move on.
And, some of the positives to take from tonight, I really was impressed with the work rate of Caden Smith throughout. He was a catalyst on the offensive side of things. Some of these guys, the Bartoni brothers, things didn't quite fall for them. Even Dunphy even had a couple chances at the end that didn't quite fall. So one of those nights where it doesn't go your way. But you take your positive in Caden Smith. Marco Anik, your captain. He was all over the field where he needed to be. He was finding the ball, finding the game to get them back in, and it didn't work. Peters did a nice job most of the game at marshaling things at the back. He read the game very well. It's just some of those organizational things they're going to have to figure out. They've shown that a lot of freshmen and sophomores have serious game, especially in the midfield and on the wings. So many positives to take from tonight, and we look forward to journeying throughout the season with you. Any final remarks before we go off the air?
I do. I want to say thanks to Ryan Rapp and everybody here at Fort Zumwalt South. Thanks for the hospitality. It was wonderful, and good luck the rest of the year.
Yeah, and let me check the schedule. We don't play them again. We wish them well the rest of the season. So really a phenomenal team, and we wish Zumwalt South all the best. I'm sure they're going to have a great year, and we look forward to being a part of that too and keeping an eye on them. For all of us at CSN, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tom Eichwald. That was Randy Gardner. We have Braden Paulus running production and Charlie Bryan bringing you the visuals. We thank you for joining us tonight. Stick around on Saturday. We will have more Cadet Student Network action. It's football at 5 o'clock. Until then, everybody have a wonderful evening.